welcome to the October 27th meeting of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And now we will call to order. Can we call the roll?
Cramp.
Here.
Peterson. Canuck.
Here.
Miller. Bulow.
Here.
Toman.
Here.
Rutez.
Okay, we have 4. And now Carl is going to read the land acknowledgement.
Absolutely. We're gathered here on lands that were originally home to the Menominee and Ho-Chunk nations. We honor the Menominee and Ho-Chunk communities and are grateful for their stewardship of the land and waters. We acknowledge these ancestral grounds as sacred and remember the complex history of settler colonialism on these lands and the effects that persist today. We commit to a restorative and healing relationship of the original inhabitants and our community.
Thank you. And now, Andy, can you read the mission statement,
Yep.
please?
The mission of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is to create a more welcoming, connected, and equitable Oshkosh by consciously including the richness and complexities of marginalized voices in its planning and function.
Thank you. And now we need to approve the minutes from the September 22nd meeting. Is there any comment on the minutes or anything we need to change or fix?
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, can we call the roll, please?
Cramp.
Aye.
Canuck.
Aye.
Bulow.
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
Thank you. And do we have any citizen statements or public comment registered?
We do not have any citizen statements or public comment today.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we have our presentation from the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry from Ryan Rasmussen. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I think this is my second time since my time at the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry started, so grateful to be here. We'll go through quite an extensive PowerPoint. I hope you got about 3 hours worth of your time. But we'll provide some updates and kind of.
Is there still a quiz?
There is a quiz at the end, yes, absolutely, for funsies. Yeah, we'll chat a little bit about who we are and just kind of some of the things that we're seeing, I think, in the community right now that may be of interest. And obviously, that's even more important as we talk about what may be coming in November. So we can chat about some of that as well. So ultimately, our mission is simple. The Oshkosh Area Community Pantry is here to strive to eliminate food insecurity. We firmly believe that nobody should have to go to bed feeling hungry. And so we're going to make sure that we do everything that we can to make sure that our community members have what they need. And the way that we do it is through a dignified shopping experience, which we will talk a little bit about today because our model is very different than a lot of traditional food pantry type models. And we'll just kind of talk about kind of what separates us. But ultimately, our mission is very simple. We just want to make sure that people have access to food. Our history is quite extensive here. We've been in the community since 1989. What started at that time as a collaboration of local churches. And at that time, that collaboration all had a pantry down in the basement of the Trinity Episcopal Church. And so that's where we have our roots from. From 1989 all the way until about 2008, we operated in that way. And then starting in 2008, as the need was growing, volunteers were starting to age, there was a collaborative citywide effort to really try to bring a pantry and make it kind of community-wide. And so through those partnerships, we then officially formed as the Oshkosh Area Community Pantry and moved over to our existing location right now, which is inside the St. Vincent de Paul building located at 2551 Jackson Street. So have been around for a long time and doing a lot of great work. Ultimately, though, what is food insecurity? And the most simplest term for us is, and what we believe is really anybody that doesn't have an adequate access to food. And so one of the kind of interesting stats that you see there are a couple of different things. The first is a study that's out there called Map the Meal Gap. And really what that does is it takes a lot of considerations in place, but ultimately based on just statistical data that's out there, it creates a percentage of food insecure persons that are in each of the counties. And so currently as it stands right now with Map the Meal, right now Winnebago County is at 11.8% food insecure, meaning about 20,240 residents in this county are currently facing food insecurity. Now, Those statistics have a lot of different factors, and so they also revolve around federal poverty levels, and I won't kind of go on my high horse about whether or not I feel like that is too low or too high, but ultimately we can also take some of that same data and we can kind of extrapolate at 200% of the FPL, which FPL right now for a single is around $32,000, $33,000, maybe $34,000 a year that somebody makes in order to qualify for benefits. If you take 200% of the FPL, which puts you at that $36,000, $37,000, $38,000 range, right now 35% of our county is falling within that range. So think about a third of our population right now today facing food insecurity. That's a real number, and that's a scary number because that to me just means there's a significant portion of our population that need access to food. And so being able to make sure that you have a lot of resources to cover that is important. So who is it that we serve and how do we serve? And so this is one of the changes that have updated over the last couple of years, which is really exciting for OACP. Currently, as we stand right now, we are open to the entire state of Wisconsin. So we do not landlock folks and create additional barriers for folks that reside just in the county or outside of the county. Technically, anybody from the entire state of Wisconsin can come utilize our services. Now, that does not necessarily mean that folks from La Crosse or even Milwaukee or Chippewa Falls are coming to our pantry in droves, right? And so as you can see by the map there, 94% of all of our guests are coming from those more yellow text blocks, basically the surrounding counties within us. Winnebago County, of that 94%, is about 82% of that. So again, the drive market is mostly coming from Winnebago County. There were some changes that happened at the state level, which kind of allowed us the opportunity to be able to change the service area. Before, we used to just focus on southern Winnebago County. But based on some of those changes, it allowed us to open things up, which for us we feel is a really, really great initiative. One, because a lot of the areas that we were having trouble with were in our rural populations. So folks that were in Ripon, Berlin, or right on the cusp of what we would call southern Winnebago County didn't technically have access to us that now do. And so it has really been able to help us provide a much better service. There are still pantries in some of those rural communities, and they are still taking advantage of them, but it does open up some access to have greater amounts of food than what they would typically have had before from other pantries. So it's been a really great initiative. I am also proud to say that we are the only pantry in the state of Wisconsin that is like this. So this is it. All other pantries have some other type of service area that closely signifies the surrounding area that they serve. Obviously, I couldn't do what I do without an amazing team, and I do have an amazing team. This is all of them, and again, we are a small but mighty team. There are 6 of us that all do this work, and could not do it without them. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to be a guest with us. And honestly, our process is very, very simple. We like to consider ourselves to be an extremely barrier-free opportunity. And what I mean by that is there are no disqualifying factors to register for our service whatsoever. So there are no income verifications. There are no things that we are going to deny you access to our pantry. However, we do ask if you would be able to bring some things with you. So we recommend, if you do have access to a photo ID, to bring that along with you. Also, if you have proof of address, and that could be a piece of mail with your name and address on it, virtually anything with your name and address. Along with those 2 things, and then kind of a listing of some demographic information that we'll ask everybody that comes through. That's really it. Now, any guest that is new to us can choose to provide or not provide that information. It will not disqualify you. But for us, what's really important is it allows us to be able to have some really good data, so that way we can do some reporting for grant writing and some of the other partners that we have to make sure that we can continue to keep working with those folks and use those dollars to buy food for our pantry. So you can kind of see the list there. Also, if you have children in the home, we also ask if it's possible for you to be able to bring those items, either Social Security card, proof of insurance, or birth certificate. Great. Again, with all of these things, if you don't have it or you choose not to bring it, that's still okay. We will still get you signed up. We'll still get you registered and shopping same day with us. So with that registration, what will happen is once we go through all of that, you will end up receiving your own pantry card. That card is for you to keep, so that way every time that you do keep coming back to us, you're able to have all that information housed right on that card. You don't have to keep bringing it back with you every time. We will also do a one time a year just verification, just to make sure that everything is up to date in our records. Obviously, emails have changed or phone numbers have changed, those types of things, that we'll make sure that we have all of that up to date. But once you have that card, that's basically about it. Another significant change that has happened over the course of the last 4 years is we used to be a points-based system at our pantry. And what we were finding is that points-based system was actually creating some additional barriers in our store. If you are like me, and if you are on a budget and you're trying to work through the grocery store and remember how much you're spending as you're navigating the store, that's almost impossible. And then ultimately you get to the checkout area and you're over that allotment, then the unfortunate conversation of having to put something back happens. And that was neither good, neither for the guest that had to receive that message, nor for the volunteer that had to deliver that message. So one of the things that we decided to do was get rid of it completely. So we no longer have that points-based model at all, and we've switched to a limit-based system. So throughout the entire store, items are labeled with how much of each of that item a guest is able to take. And it's clearly labeled, and you'll see some additional pictures of what that will look like in a second. So a pretty significant change for us. With that open shopping experience, one of the other pieces that have changed is just the layout of the store. So before, our store used to look something like this, and these pictures are going to look very deceiving. One, they're not orientated the same way, so when you see the next picture, you'll see why. But two, those shelves look awfully full, and I wish our shelves could continue to look like that. But generally speaking, our shelving units used to run horizontally in our store. So as you would walk in as a guest, the first thing you were met with was just a wall. You couldn't see anything around it. So just by changing that landscape to a more vertical approach, now as you walk in, you instantly can have sight lines to the entire store. There's a natural shopping lane that happens left to right. Our guests wanted to do it, let them do it. And the other most significant piece is it allowed us to be able to bring our produce tables, which is kind of that cluster of tables kind of in the middle of the store there. Those were at the back of the store before, and it allowed us to be able to bring those front and center. Although we will never tell our guests what they should or shouldn't eat, we will always highlight the good things first. Plus, anytime you go to any other grocery store, what's the first department you hit? Produce. Why should we be any different? And so it creates that same type of grocery store style experience that you would get just as you were going to Kroger, Aldi, Festival, whatever other store of choice you have. So pretty significant change just in the layout. And then lastly, the most recent change that happened is we have recategorized the entire store and we have relabeled it. And so those categories, as you can see kind of on the top left-hand picture, we now have a breakfast section, a bread section. Farther at the end is kind of a sweets and treats area. On the bottom picture, you kind of just see how that signage is laid out throughout the entire store, kind of labeling kind of what some of those items are or what the categories of those items are. And then we get specific to what the actual item is at the shelf level. So we will specifically say this is cans of corn, or we'll specifically say, this is cereal, on and on and on. And the other most significant piece is we now have 4 languages represented throughout the entire store. So English, Spanish, Swahili, and Arabic. And those are the languages that are most prominent in our store. And so we now have all of those translated signs throughout the entire store, both in our registration packets, so for folks that are coming to register for the first time, but then also throughout the store as they're navigating, they will have that language throughout. So really, really some positive steps for us in trying to help make sure that we're not only being inclusive to everybody, but also just making that shopping experience easier, or as easy as possible. So. Lastly, all of this will culminate, hopefully, as carts are heaping full. We will end up at our checkout area, and our checkout area for us Everything that we do in the store is by weight. So we will weigh everything into our system, and then anything that leaves our building gets weighed out of our system. And again, all of that is just for grant writing purposes, storytelling, and being able to do some really cool things with that data. But from a guest perspective, all it means is just rolling carts up onto the scale that you see there to record that weight, and then we roll it down to be able to bag and box up your groceries after that, similar to what you would do at Aldi. So, I also would be remiss to say that we also could not do what we do without the help of our volunteers. And so this is just an example of those volunteers doing all the great work. We are 99% run on volunteer help. As I mentioned, there are only 6 paid staff members at our pantry. Could not do what we do without our volunteers. As it stands right now, it takes us anywhere from 60 to 80 volunteer shifts a week for us to pull off what we do. And it's because of folks like this that are dedicated to our cause that make it happen. And that could both be on an individual basis and also as group volunteering efforts through corporations and other entities. Just some quick facts for you, just to kind of give you some line of sight into what's happening. I'll talk mostly about between 2024 and 2025, but you can kind of see the path here. We are currently right now the busiest we have ever been in the history of our organization. From 2024 even to 23 to 24, excuse me, you can see kind of that gradual increase, all culminating to where we are right now. I mean, obviously we haven't finished out this year, but as it stands, we're on pace to deliver about 3 million pounds of food out the door this year to about, on average, 2,800 families that are utilizing our services a month. That is significant. When I first started 4 years ago, our average was about 1,300 families a month. And as I mentioned, we're at 2,800 now. So 50% in 4 years is the growth pattern that we have seen. That is also in the new registrants that we're seeing as well. Obviously, if we're having more families coming a month, it also means that we're having some increases in the total number of new registrants that are coming. And as it stands right now, we are registering about 100 new families a month at our pantry. So some really significant increases that we're seeing. Our kid pantry area has seen the most amount of, one of the areas that has seen a significant amount of growth. From 23 to 24, we had 114% growth just in that area. And then as you can see from 24 to 25, we continue to keep seeing that up 14 and even this year to 10%. That also gives us a telling sign that the age demographic of our guests are decreasing, and we're seeing more families that are coming as opposed to traditionally seeing more maybe of that 60 plus range. As I mentioned, kind of that growth chart, this is in visual terms what we've seen as guest shops per month. This is that pattern of increase that we're talking about, all culminating to that last month at the very end of that chart at 2,800 shops, which is now our new average moving forward. So obviously that growth over the last 4 years has been significant. We also are seeing that trend in new registrants. Again, as we're averaging about 100 new registrants a month, you can also see that trend line continuing to increase on us as well. And again, it's just a telling sign of what we're seeing today. This is also kind of a fun stat that we run, which is as a family utilizes us, so every time that they check out, we want to try to say if we can maintain an average of about 70 to 75 pounds worth of food per shop. In our world, we believe that will get you about almost 2 weeks worth of food. But as you can see, we had a really, really good, stable trend line, which we jokingly called the Larson effect, which is the day that we, basically the month that we hired our inventory manager, which is where the 74, 72 is kind of in the May 2023 range. You can kind of see that leveling out of food procurement. Now, you take that to a drastic effect where we are now in September 25 with the increased numbers of folks that we have. Obviously, we're seeing folks increase. Food allotment isn't as readily available as it was, which you can start to see that decline in the amount of food that guests are able to take each shop. So again, our average, at least for the month of September, was 53. We hope that we can try to change that and help bring that average back up to 70, 75 if we can. But again, just kind of a telling sign of what has been happening with us over the last few years. And then lastly, we always just like to talk about how we get our food. So there's three main ways. The first is through Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin, which is that blue line up top. They are probably our primary source of food, giving us about 70% of our overall food. The second is TFAP. It's a government-based program. It's called the Emergency Food and Assistance Program. That's that orange line. And that is a one-time-a-month federal commodity that comes right from the federal government. That is on average about 7 to 8% of our overall food. And then anything else that you see in the light blue or in the green is either through just general donations, food drives, those types of things, and then ultimately purchase product as well. So those are the three main ways that we are able to get food. Again, just to kind of go through some of what those age demographics look like, you can see the trend is starting to go down. So in age, the gray portion there is the senior 60 plus. You can see that number going down, and obviously in the blues where you see some of the uptick in some of the youth that's utilizing pantry services. And I suspect, although 2025 isn't completely done, we'll continue to keep seeing those types of numbers for this year as well. Gender demographics, no real surprise. I mean, ultimately split almost 50-50, with 1% then claiming to be non-binary or choosing not to say, which is completely fine as well. And then lastly, looking at some of the ethnicity data that we have, again, not overly surprising, we skew Caucasian and white, but one of the areas that we do pay a lot of attention to is the Middle Eastern, North African. That stat line for us, I mean, that's a lot of the refugee population that's coming in. Obviously with work with World Relief and some of the folks that were using Oshkosh as a great settlement for a lot of those folks, we're starting to see that uptick as well. And I'm sure you see that just in the community as you're walking around as well. So, just to highlight some of the other programs that OECP has, the first on the far left is we do have 2 hydroponic machines, so we do grow our own produce as well. So we do have a dedicated group of volunteers that just organize those hydroponics. Mostly lettuce comes out of those, just because it's the easiest to grow. But about every 2.5 weeks we can get a yield out of those. So.
They haven't been able to do what I asked?
Not yet. We are still desperately trying to figure out how to grow Snickers bars, but we have not been able to do it yet. But we're working on it. And if we do figure it out, you'll be the first to know, so that way you can help us push it. The middle picture there is our kid pantry area, so it's an opportunity for when the littles come in, they have their own place to do their own independent shop as well. We also do some educational components in that area centered around My Plate, because we're learning that in school anyway. So it helps draw some correlation from what they're learning in school to also being able to go from station to station as they're filling their plate, but also allowing them to pick the foods that they want themselves as well. We also have books, coloring sheets, crayons, all the fun things that kids love to do. Those are all free for them. They do not have to bring those back. So just a really great area for the kiddos. And then on the far right there, we have our school pantry program, which is where we work directly with the Oshkosh Area School District to help supply all of the schools in the district with granola bars, fresh fruit bars, and then fresh fruit. Apples, oranges, and bananas. Every Tuesday gets delivered into the schools directly from us, and then the guidance counselors and social workers in each of the schools help identify the kiddos who are in need and help distribute those products to them. As it stands right now, and you'll see another slide of that coming up, but we've got 4,400 students that are utilizing that program a week right now, which directly correlates to what the district says, and I can go to that slide and come back. Directly correlates to what the district says is what they consider to be economically disadvantaged in the community, sitting at around 47.7%. But you can see some of that impact of what we're doing with the school district there as well. Just going back, highlighting a couple last programs on the left-hand side is part of our recycling initiative, and so we have partnered with the Trex program. So all of the plastic that not only we accumulate, but also if there's anybody that has leftover bags or anything that we can't use in store, we will take all of those and we will recycle those, and then after getting 1,000 pounds worth of that plastic, we in turn receive a free Trex bench. And so this program was highlighted, I think, before in the Herald. I think there was a couple other groups in town that are doing it. We also are doing it. And we are happy to say that we already have 2 benches accumulated in the last couple of years, so it's pretty great. The last is that card kind of on the right-hand side, which is our Food for Health initiative. Food for Health for us right now is twofold. One, working with all the health partners in the community. Anybody who's facing food insecurity or nutrition insecurity are instantly referred to us. That's the easy one. The second piece is in a little bit of a transition for us right now, but for folks that are using or in need of specialty diets, whether that's gluten-free, more diabetic-friendly, those types of things, we're kind of in the process right now of trying to create an area in the store that will have those particular items readily available all the time. We used to have a program that was kind of a box model program, but as you can tell from our slides, we're not really box model people. We generally believe that having the power to choose your own foods is much, much more appropriate than getting a preloaded box. So we're still working on kind of some finishing touches with that, but hopefully within the next year or so, we'll have that program completely fleshed out. Just some of the marketing pieces we are out there doing. Basically, the message is we will say yes to anybody or any activity. So we generally like to go out not only to help spread awareness about what we're doing, but also try to help give back in other ways as possible. We recognize that we receive a lot from this community. So if there are ways that we can also go back and our team can help support other nonprofits or do other things, we're trying to do that as well. So just us out in the community, just trying to do as much as possible just to make sure that, again, we're not only spreading awareness, but helping others in our community. And this is just an idea of some of the fundraising type things that we do throughout the course of the year. So whether it's growing a row for OACP, so if you have any leftover produce from your home personal gardens, we'll obviously take those. We just wrapped up Battle of the Bago, which is a competition with all the high schools in town, where during each of their homecomings they do a food drive, and the winning team or the winning school gets a great trophy from us. Plus also bragging rights for the following year. So last year's. We have not announced the winner of this year, but last year's winner was Lourdes High School. So that had nothing to do with me. But again, just some other things that we've got going out there, Stamp Out for Kids, some scouting, food drives, those types of things are all just some snippets of what we do out in the community. So ultimately, how is it that you can help? So first and foremost, if you aren't connected with us on social media, please do so. There's a lot of information that we try to put out there, not only about our program, but things that are just happening kind of in the food insecurity space. So go on Facebook, like us, interact with us. We are always looking for that support. Also take a look at our website. We've spent a lot of time making sure that we try to make information as readily available and as easy as possible to read. So we do have our new website up and available, so go take a look at that. And obviously if there's additional things that I haven't covered, it's all in that website for you to take a look at. And then lastly, we talk about the big three. How is it that you can be either a giver of food, a giver of money, or a giver of time? From a food perspective, how is it that you can help organize maybe a food drive? Or as something as simple as if you are the type of person that has that bag of bags that's underneath your sink right now, we will take those bags as a donation, because not only do we reuse them in store for our guests to be able to bag up their groceries with, but also, if they are not usable, we will recycle them with our Trex program. Same with egg cartons. We're constantly looking for egg cartons, so rather than recycling those right away, we will take those for you, and we will help reuse them in our store as well. Obviously, if you're a giver of money, not only does that help us get some additional things that we generally don't see through general food drives, but there's a lot of ways that we can maximize those dollars with partnering with a lot of other pantries in the area to do some bulk purchasing. And it really just allows us to have some flexibility to really kind of take advantage of those dollars and stretch them as much as possible. And then lastly, how is it that you could be a giver of time and potentially consider being a volunteer with us in some capacity? Volunteers for us could look as easy as 1 hour a month to 40 hours a week. We will take any and all volunteers. So,
Brian, I noticed on your website you now have a monthly giving option that people can just set it up to have it come out and pay you every month, and
yes,
kind of an easy way to do it.
We definitely try to make it as easy as possible. So under the donate page, yes, you can instantly sign up and either be a monthly, quarterly, or yearly donor with us. And as Carl mentioned, it is an automatic something. It's kind of a set it and forget it. You don't ever have to worry about it again.
I call it the Netflix model.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's that subscription.
Every month you're subscribing to helping somebody feel
Right.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So not too shabby, pretty close, pretty close. So, but happy to field any questions that you may have either about us. Obviously, I know there's some stuff going on with Food Share right now. I'm happy to talk about that if you'd wish, but I can leave it there with you and let me know what you might want to know.
I think one of the things that you didn't highlight in here, but I know that you do, is focusing on friendly foods for different cultures and diets. And do you want to talk a little bit about that and the efforts that you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. We certainly attempt to do as much of that as we can. And one of the things that we had done 3.5 years ago or so, to try to make a concerted effort, we actually sent some folks out in the community to all of the ethnic markets that were from Appleton all the way to Fond du Lac, to help just write down everything. Figure out what are those items that are in some of those stores that allows us kind of a roadmap to be able to help try to find some of those things. And working with some other great partners, SEPO is one of them as an example. They're helping to supply us with some of that knowledge of what are they seeing that either we don't have or we could do better with. And so we've made a very concerted effort to really try and make sure that we go and get some of those products. What's interesting is I was under the assumption that it was going to be a lot of spices, condiments, things that maybe we generally wouldn't see through general donations. But quite honestly, it's much simpler than that. Rice, obviously, more than noodles. It's a lot of your pantry staple items that we would generally have. And so also our produce department, right? I mean, that's another area for us that not only we're really proud of, but also just cross-culturally, produce is something that everybody wants and everybody needs. So we've really been able to try to help identify some different areas to kind of help maximize folks in all of their dietary needs.
Is there a listing online of things that you take and don't take?
There is. So on that website, there is a couple of different things. There is first just our general list of donated items that we're usually looking for. But then also on that is kind of a monthly breakdown. So we do something fun where we'll do a food drive focus every month, and we'll switch up what the products are, and they're all themed. Really kind of giving an opportunity for folks that are regular monthly food donors, kind of an opportunity for us to receive some different items. And so as an example right now, I think we're in our Spooktacular because it's the end of October, which is more of those specialty items, some of those gluten-free items, those types of things. But as we get into the holiday season, November for us is going to be all about those holiday meal favorites, whatever they are to you. In December, it's going to be all of baking items, just because that's generally what we're seeing. Or what maybe some of the needs are. So take a look at all of those lists. Ultimately, generally what I say to folks is, yes, we would take everything. Anything and everything, because even if it's something that we can't say, something that we can't use in our store, we have a variety of pantry partners that we work with in the community that can take it. As an example, a lot of times folks will call us about pre-made food, like they've got leftovers either from an event or whatever. And although we can't take those items at the pantry just because we are focusing more on prepackaged items, we do know that places like Father Carr or Day by Day or other of our partners in the community can take those, so we help redistribute to those products to those partners.
So if I have a whole bunch of bags in my car
Yeah.
that I keep forgetting to bring into the store, where do I donate them in your store?
Yeah, so if you just go to the St. Vincent de Paul store, walk in the front doors, hang a left, you'll run right into us.
Okay.
And we'll have a sign kind of at the end that just says food donation drop off here. There's usually a little cart that's sitting there, and you can plop them all right there. You'll also walk right by my office, so you
Wonderful. I'll come say
also
hi.
can say hi. And if you can't find the cart, then I'll certainly take them.
Do you still have the bag folding team?
Yes, we do. Every Thursday, we have a group of ladies that come in, and all they want to do is fold bags, which is amazing. And for them, it gives them an opportunity to come out and just interact. It's kind of the coffee clutch
That's so
group.
cute.
So they'll come have coffee and fold bags for about an hour
And
and
they
a half
sort
to 2
through
hours.
any of them that have holes in them or any
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk at all about, obviously what's going on in the news with the federal shutdown and what that means for funding for places like, yours, but even, others related potentially, and is there a call to action maybe from our citizens to help in these difficult times?
Yeah, because you're going to be getting more heavily trafficked
Influx, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yes. So yes, there's a few things that are all kind of happening at the same time. So first, we'll talk about kind of the federal shutdown that's happening right now. Obviously, what's in the news is the delay in SNAP benefits. So for folks that are part of the SNAP program or food share program, technically as of October 31st and starting November 1st, that food share allotment will not be available to folks that generally would see that. Obviously that's going to be a giant impact, and those food share dollars, for some folks can be as little as $20 a month, or it could be as much as $150 a month, depending on family size and a variety of other things. And so with that delay, obviously there's a lot of question about, what will happen. And quite honestly, there aren't a ton of answers, other than what we are doing is encouraging folks, come utilize this as a resource. We want to make sure that we have, we can take care of everybody and anybody as much as possible. So know that you can utilize your pantries as a resource. Also, obviously, with the federal shutdown, with a lot of the government workers that aren't receiving paychecks, we're obviously seeing the effects of that kind of at the same time as this. And again, utilize your pantries. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the pantries are all working together right now to try to solve this. And we may not have all the answers, but we're working darn hard to make sure that we can supply everything that we can for folks. And so there will be food available. We may not have all of the variety that maybe folks are used to, but we will have food available. So if you are in need, make sure that you come and utilize us. As kind of a call to action specifically to that, we're also, at this point, really encouraging folks that if you want to be a donor, food donations are great, but obviously at this point, monetary donations are really going to help more so than others, and only because that allows us to be able to do some of that purchasing power and to be able to really offset some of the things that we don't see in general food donations. So, if there are folks that are so inclined and you're able to make monetary donations, do that at the local level, because we have a fantastic partnership with Feeding America, and they're kind of in the same boat. But right now, what we do know is folks are going to be utilizing their local pantries, their local churches first. So we're trying to start there as kind of not only the awareness piece, but also as the place that you can help support. But obviously, if you choose to give to folks like Feeding America or other, that's also great. That's all part of the mission as well. But as much as you can focus on some of those local pantries, it's really, really going to help them significantly. All while that's happening, there is also H.R. 1, aka the Big Beautiful Bill, that has been passed through legislation. And so when you think about SNAP regarding H.R. 1, one of the things that we're keeping tabs on is the onus of SNAP benefits will ultimately come down to the state and county level. SNAP has always been a federally funded program, meaning the Fed has always given the money to it, and states have not allocated dollars to SNAP because it always has been federally funded. With H.R. 1, that changes. States now have to figure out how they incorporate SNAP dollars into their state budgets, and each state is handling that differently. I was just at the county supervisors meeting at their last meeting because the county was putting up a letter to send to Governor Evers in support of making sure that Governor Evers allocates dollars to counties to ensure that those that are working at DHS or Health and Human Services at the county level are receiving funding to ensure, which is the most important piece, that our overall error rate stays low. Wisconsin is very, very fortunate that our error rate sits at about 4.5%. National average of error rate, and by error rate I mean the amount of folks, we vet folks through our food share program really, really well in the state, meaning our error of folks that maybe are receiving benefits that maybe shouldn't be, or there are errors in their application, or there are things that are happening through their SNAP journey, our rate is really low, sitting at 40.5%. National average tends to be around 10, 11%. HR 1 is now putting regulation that the minimum standard has to be 6% or lower, and if you are above 6%, the federal government is not going to allocate additional funding to SNAP to states. So you have to keep the error rate low. Unfortunately, what that means is because of also the increase of regulations that are happening in order to qualify for SNAP benefits, folks that are in that work are having to verify incomes, verify jobs, verify that folks are actually applying to positions. And that is going to be necessary in order to keep our error rate low to ensure that the amount of money that the state is going to get from the Fed stays consistent. But if we go above that, it will get reduced significantly. So we're in a really interesting time of making sure that we can make sure that we keep our error rate low in order to make sure that our SNAP benefits continue to keep receiving the same level of benefits that they're used to. That's also all the while there's been a lot of programmatic stuff that's happened at the government level. In particular, in the news that we shared a couple of months ago is the LFPA program, which was a direct federally funded money to Wisconsin farmers to grow produce for food banks and food pantries. That was eliminated in March and April. I can't tell you why. I wish I knew. But the
Because
effect.
it was good.
Well, it was. Honestly, it was a great program, and it was very, very successful for the 2 years that they had it up and running. It forged a lot of great relationships at the pantry level with local farmers. And so the impact for our pantry, in our pantry alone, was $120,000 worth of produce that we weren't going to receive this summer. So we have been actively working with a lot of partners to help recoup that. And I'm happy to say, again, I've always said this about this community, when you ask this community for things, they will respond. And of that $120,000 that we were going to be missing, we've been able to fundraise 70 of it back. So it is truly amazing that the power of this community can react when these things happen. But ultimately, it's getting that message out to make sure everybody knows it. So anyway, that's a lot of stuff that's happening. But happy to talk more or less.
Less.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. So you said that people usually get around 70-ish pounds when they shop.
That's
How
our goal.
often do they get to shop?
Yeah, great question. Right now, our shoppers are able to shop 2 times a month. We don't care when in the month that they come and shop, but they're allowed to. And then we also allow 1 emergency shop a year. So if there is something that just happens in the month, or if you want to bulk that emergency shop up as we get closer to the holidays, because you got friends and family coming, you are allowed 1 extra shop a month, but you only get 1 of those a year. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what all, so the kids, in the kids area, it's like all sorts of different things?
Yeah, obviously we try to make it as kid-friendly as possible. And so in that kids area, obviously granola bars, fruit cups, there's different types of vegetables in there. There's always going to be milk in the cooler. So we generally focus on obviously the four pillars of my plate and having some sort of representation. But that inventory changes quite regularly. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, did that building used to be a full grocery store?
Yeah,
Or-
love that. So
Yeah.
it was a Cop's grocery
Okay.
store
'Cause
in
I've
the
been to that
mid-90s.
St. Vinny's a lot, but I was always very confused by the building.
Yeah, yes. So that, about mid-90s, it was the Cop's grocery store.
Okay.
I think it was in that location for maybe
for
a
real
year.
long.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It wasn't
Well-
They built it, they were there for a year, and then they closed it. And then, over some time, St. Vincent de Paul ended up picking up the building and then allowed us to come along on the journey with them. So
That's amazing.
you can still see all the sweet 90s decor is still on the walls. We're firm believers that old always comes back new, so hence the reason why we haven't changed it.
That's
so
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get a little more information on the grower roll?
Yeah, I'm so interested in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So for us, if you are a home grower
Yeah.
and you just love to garden, just consider growing a row for us. And ultimately, that just means if there is leftovers that you have in your garden at the end of the season, or if you want to particularly grow something for us, you can dedicate a space to that in your home gardens and be able to drop it off by us. Any sort of donations, whether it's produce or any sort of food, you can drop off anytime Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. And we'll have somebody there to help accept it. Obviously, if there are large amounts of product and you need help with the pickup, we can also help with that as well.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband is an epic gardener, so I have another assignment for him.
I love that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And you have even forklift capabilities, so if you end up having a pallet full of stuff in the back of your truck, or
We harvested 50 pounds of potatoes just from our backyard this year.
I love that. Good work. Yeah.
I was very sore.
Yeah.
The next day I was like, oh, I can't walk.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Anyone else have any other questions? There's so much wonderful information here.
Yeah, we really appreciate
Yeah.
you joining us again. It's
Yeah.
like you said, it's been a few years.
And it was weird timing. Good
Well,
weird
it's
timing.
ironic timing,
Yeah.
considering everything that's going on. So it's unfortunate that it's ironic timing, but also good. Hopefully, get the word out a little bit about what you offer, and hopefully, people who can help, whether it's like you said, with time, donations, etc. It sounds like you're going to need it. You're going to need extra help and extra donations, considering what's going on.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah,
No.
so everyone in our community who is able to help, I've started adding a few items to my grocery list every week and donating them. I've been going to the Hope Fridge, which is at
Yeah, perfect.
Trinity Lutheran, which is funny that's where you guys used to be. And now
Indeed.
the Hope Fridge is there.
Yeah.
So I dropped some stuff off there this morning because I'm able to. So anyone in
Yeah.
the community who is able to, we need to support each other as much as possible right now.
Absolutely.
So, and you're one of the amazing organizations in our community that's helping other people. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. We're trying. We're trying the best we can.
You're doing a good job. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me be here. We
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for taking
no
the
problem.
time.
No problem at all. Thank you.
And you can hang out here if you want to, or you can run away if you want to run away.
We only have a couple items
Yeah.
left.
No worries.
So now we need to discuss and vote on December meeting schedule. Because our meeting is supposed to be like Christmas Eve or something, right?
It would be the
Like
Monday of the week of Christmas. I
Yeah.
think would be the 22nd, 23rd, something.
Okay.
But historically, we've actually voted to cancel the December meeting, give everybody that last part of December off. So, unless someone has some burning things that we want to talk about at that meeting.
move to cancel.
Okay.
Second.
So, Bulow.
I was gonna let you finish, but I was like,
No.
this is weird.
Yeah.
I can already tell I will just be like, no, I'm staying home.
Any further discussion?
No. I don't think so.
Take the roll.
Cramp,
Aye.
Canuck,
Aye.
Bulow,
Aye.
Toman.
Aye.
All right, we will be removing that from the calendar and send out the notifications so
Wonderful.
that nobody tunes in thinking we're gonna have a
know.
meeting. So,
It'd be so sad. And now it is the committee member roundtable where we share DEI-related activities and events in the area. And I just wanted to shout out Hope Fridge again. It's on Algoma at Trinity Episcopal Church. It's right outside on the Algoma side. They have a fridge, a freezer, and then a whole huge shelving area with, I dropped off some baby wipes today, and there's canned goods and all kinds of stuff.
And if you're not sure, check their website.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have certain things. If you're going to do like home cooked meals, it has to be labeled. It needs to have ingredients on there, dated.
Yeah. And they don't accept raw meat, so that's another thing. But when I was driving away today, someone was already at the fridge taking stuff out. So, and the freezer was pretty empty. There was just like some potatoes in there, and then I put in some like frozen vegetables. But if you can just add one or two things to your shopping list, and it's on my way home from the grocery store, so that was great. Is there anything else exciting happening in the world this next month? Do you have any activities that are happening?
I always have some activities
Yeah.
if nobody else has any.
I know you've always got some.
So, all right, well, so Winnebago County Public Health, they have their Walk-In Wednesday at the Hyde Family Community Center on October 29th. They'll have flu vaccinations for children who qualify for the Vaccines for Children program. All appointments are not necessary, but you can schedule appointments at 112 Otter Avenue as well. And of course, there's more information online. Winnebago, let's see. Also, Leaf No One Behind, yard waste cleanup, Sunday, November 9th, 2025. So you can register to volunteer and help. There is a QR code on the City of Oshkosh Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion website, Facebook page, if anyone is interested in volunteering for Leaf No One Behind. So that's going on soon, so a little bit of time to sign up yet. Let's see. There is a transgender Day of Remembrance vigil, 7 p.m. at Houdini Plaza in Appleton, Wisconsin on November 20th. Again, if you want more information, go to the City of Oshkosh Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Facebook. Soulful Holiday Village, African American Incorporated. Save the date for Saturday, December 13th from 12 to 5 p.m. That is at the Fox City Exhibition Center, so that's in December. So also, just to let everyone know, the Dia de Muertos was a great success again this year. Our museum director talked a little bit about it last week. They had over 1,200 attendees, which was up from, I'm probably going to be wrong, but it was 650-ish the year before.
Wow.
So that was a great success again this year, and seems to be growing in popularity every year. So we're very happy for the museum and that free event that they put on every year.
And yesterday was the drag brunch, wasn't it?
We did.
Yeah.
Not a brunch. Just
Oh,
drag bingo.
drag bingo.
Yes,
Yes.
it was. We had a great turnout. It was wonderful. Great event.
How much money was raised?
They were doing the final calculations this morning.
It was like thousands and
Yes,
thousands
it
of
was good.
dollars. Yeah,
It was
that's
very-
amazing.
And that was at the Gibson. It was
A
awesome.
fundraiser for Oshkosh Pride.
Yes.
Yep, and that was part of the Northeast Wisconsin Coming Out celebration from October 11th, which was awesome as well. So I was just thankful for everybody that came out there and set up tables and was there for other people. And
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool.
Good stuff happened.
Yeah.
Some.
Yes, and these are the things we need to remember, and that we can be together in community in our beautiful city as long as we support each other.
Correct.
Kumbaya. Okay. Are there any fun, exciting items on the city council agenda?
So the biggest one is the budget, of course, because that is the most
fun.
impactful thing that we do, obviously. And so it is out there available online to read through. I think it's 363 pages this year-ish.
Light reading.
Light
No
reading,
big deal.
very easy. And I do have questions coming in from different people about, hey, this is different than last year, what happened here. So also we did about 3 hours of open public meetings in this room talking about the budget. Those are available on YouTube, so you can see what we talked about and why. But then we'll also be having, is it November 4th, I think it is, a budget hearing, November 5th maybe. I'll have to look. We'll be having a budget meeting open in here, open to the public, so you can come in and give us your full thoughts on it.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any items to put on a future agenda?
I believe we have someone lined up for December and January meetings already.
Or for
November.
Yes,
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
How about November, not December?
It's already been a long week.
Yeah, I believe November is NAMI.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, Bob.
January should be the new,
Oh, the new Rainbow Collective?
yes.
Cool. Awesome.
I almost forgot the most important part.
Oh, no.
We have a vacancy on council, and we are still accepting applications.
Oh, yes.
So you can find that if you go to the Oshkosh City webpage. It is the top thing on there. So get your applications in before we consider them.
Yep, and I feel like that's gonna be on the November,
That
Fourth?
is.
is it the November?
No, I think it's the second one in November. We're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
consider that. yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, all the deadlines are on the website. so-
Yes. November 12th is the deadline.
And does anyone have anything else? Anything to add? No? Okay, so does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, everyone.